Trump versus Musk. Why this feud might actually be helping humanity. What if this wild, ego driven fight between Trump and Musk isn't a random feud, but it's a signpost for something that we all need to see? Because whether you love them, whether you hate them, whether you couldn't care less, the moment that is playing out today is not just about politics. It's about you, it's about me, it's about the collective story that we're all writing together. So, if you've been feeling overwhelmed by the noise in the world, this video is going to give you clarity. If you've been stuck in judgment or confusion, this will help you find your center. And if you're ready to grow, not just spiritually, but as a conscious human in a chaotic, crazy, exciting time, this is the lens that you've been waiting for. In this video, I'm going to be talking about 10 higher truths hidden in the Trump-Musk feud. So these events that play out on the public stage, they actually get me really excited. Ever since I had my spiritual awakening, I see all these events from a very different lens to how I used to. I used to see it out of the lens of fear, which is, oh my God, what does this mean for the world? What does this mean for the USA? What does this mean for Australia? What does this mean for me? But ever since I had my awakening and I saw that what we create is actually on a world stage and everything is playing out for a reason and that there is a divine design for everything, I actually see everything playing out as if I'm watching a movie. And so in today's video, I'm very excited to be giving you 10 higher truths hidden in the Trump-Musk feud. But first, I want to give you the facts. So what's really going on? What are they arguing about? So let's just talk about what has happened here, and then I'm going to give you the 10 truths. So first of all, let's look at the facts. First of all, Elon Musk publicly backed Trump's 2024 campaign by giving him millions and millions of dollars in campaign funding. And prior to that, he had also done the same with Obama. So basically, this is the first time that he was supporting a conservative government. And they had a very public bromance. We saw them dancing together. And I really believe that the respect is real between the both of them, and they have a very, very powerful soul contract. But their bromance exploded into a public fight recently. And the issue as to why it exploded into a public fight was that Trump brought in a new budget proposal called the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. I love the way that Trump uses his language to bring in a new act. One big beautiful. It's so beautiful, this beautiful act. So the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, which Musk strongly opposed, as it would add an estimated $3 trillion to the US deficit, while he was urging cost cutting across the nation. So he saw this bill as reckless and unsustainable. I really do believe that even though we're dealing with two massive, massive egos here, that they're both doing the best that they think that they need to do. So because Musk was so against this bill, Trump asked him to step down from his role in the White House. And it was an advisory role. It wasn't a role in the government as such. He was still an advisor. And the way that Musk responded was by tweeting that Trump was listed in the Epstein files, which for most of us, this wouldn't have been a surprise anyway. So it wasn't like it was this massive revelation. And of course, Trump, never the one to stay silent, he followed up with a social media barrage threatening to cut billions in government subsidies for Musk's companies. And then this was the interesting part. Later on, after Musk had tweeted all these tweets, he later admitted that he had gone too far and he shouldn't have said what he said. And Trump softened the blow as well by calling their relationship just a little bit strange, but adding that friendship was possible at some level as his doors were open. So I've never seen Trump sort of soften in this way, which tells me that their soul contract is so powerful that they're willing to have this bromance, they're willing to have a public spat and a public fight, and then they're almost saying that they kind of want to get together, but they've both got such big egos that they're waiting for the other one to go first. So let's get into what are the 10 higher truths hidden in this Trump Musk feud. I just find them fascinating. I've got so much to say about their archetypes, about their soul contracts, about what they are here to do. And I'm really excited about how this is playing out. And I know this sounds, from people who are suffering and watching this in dismay, everything is playing out the way it needs to. Everything is playing out perfectly in this perfect universe. And so that's the first point that I want to point out, is that nothing happens randomly in this absolutely perfect universe. It's all divine, it's all perfect. So, in this loud, chaotic universe where so much is happening on the public stage, I absolutely believe that everything that plays out on the public stage, that's why I'm really interested in things that play out on the public stage, no matter who the player is, always has a deeper meaning, always has a higher perspective. So, from a soul perspective, this conflict isn't just noise, it's a crack where something else is going to emerge. It shows us where we're asleep. It shows us where we are going further and further away from God, from the truth of who we really are, and we're beginning to wake up to the truth. It's almost like there's a personal breakdown that happens between a couple, and it leads to a breakthrough. And so it's like this couple who has like a public spat or private spat, and they needed that breakdown in order to have a breakthrough. So I feel like this feud between them is a mirror for the collective, because everything that plays out by our leaders are only leading who they represent. If they didn't represent us, they wouldn't be in government. And I can hear a lot of you saying, well, I didn't vote for them. Well, the collective did. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there. Number two hidden truth is that this conflict is a wake-up call, like everything that plays on the public stage is. It's a wake-up call. So conflict reveals what's been hidden or what's been ignored. It shakes up this false peace and forces the truth to arise. And this feud brings up questions that we've been avoiding about leadership, about influence, about who we hand over our power to. So when we see two people who are so prominent and so powerful have this bromance and they're dancing together at events and they're loving each other and then they're having a public spat, it makes us question, well, what did I believe about this couple, this power couple? And are my beliefs to be questioned? But it's also really good because they're doing it in public as opposed to in private. Whereas previous governments, of course, they had spats between each other. Of course, they argued. Of course, they fought, but we never heard about it. It was all hidden. So I think it's wonderful that it's out in the public arena. We can see it. And it's like when two people argue in your life, it usually exposes something deeper underneath. And the same thing is happening here, but it's just on a bigger stage. So I see all of this as really exciting that we are able to see it as opposed to it's hidden from us. Number three, I want to talk about the archetypes, the Trump and Musk bigger archetypes are just such powerful energies. They're not just men with big egos, they are symbols of energies playing out in our world. So Trump is the ego king, he's dominant, he's controlling, he's important. Musk is the archetype of the disruptor. He's rebellious, he invents new things that nobody thinks about, he is unpredictable. And here's the truth that we overlook. This is really important. This is really important. This is the truth that we overlook. We need people like Trump and Musk. And I'm not supporters of either of them. Believe me, I look at every player as an actor in a movie set, and I look at, well, what is the role that this person is playing and what are they awakening in the collective because of their personalities, because of their roles, because of their actions, because they force us to question the system. And this is really, really important. I believe that both Trump and Musk are actually playing their part to perfection. And so they challenge the rules, they expose weak foundations, and they make us ask what needs to be destroyed so something new can be created. Because the people who tear things down are not the ones who build what comes next. So we have this expectation of these leaders that they're going to build the most incredible new world, and we're just going to be disappointed. They're not here to do that. They're not our knights in shining armor. They're not here to do that. I believe that what Trump is here to do is destruct. He's here to destruct, to make space for something new. So take Japan after World War II. I'll never forget this. This was something that my economics teacher taught me in year 11, and I was fascinated by this concept. He was telling us in economics class back in 1984 that after the devastation of the atomic bombs in World War II, Japan was forced to rebuild from the ground up. And because they had lost so much, they were able to reconstruct their cities and their systems in the most modern and efficient way, becoming one of the world's leading economies within a few decades, which was absolutely incredible. And so, this is what I believe is happening in the USA. So many people are thinking that the place is in ruins and it's chaotic. It has to be chaotic in order for the new to emerge. And so Musk challenges how governments work. That's fantastic. How freedom and technology interact. That's fantastic. Trump pushes against any kind of rules. He pushes against long-standing political correctness. He doesn't care what people think of him. He just says what he wants to say. He doesn't care who he offends in the process. He doesn't care. And that is so refreshing. And I know that as a result of that, a lot of lives are being affected and impacted and all the rest of it. But at least what we're looking at is real and not fake. So both Trump and Musk reveal to us where we've grown complacent, because we can see the positives that, yes, they're not accepting the old, long-standing, archaic systems, that it is all about the new, but we can also see the weaknesses in how they're treating people, in how they're treating families, in separation, in, you know, the way people are ostracized and how it's all about us versus them. So we can see all of that playing out together out in the open. And so we can then ask ourselves questions like, where in my life have I stayed in the box out of fear? Where am I afraid to question even when I know it no longer serves me? So number 4, we're getting to 10. Our shadows are being revealed. Their behavior triggers parts of us that we'd rather not face. This isn't just about Trump and Musk, it's about what they show about ourselves, our addiction to control, our fears of chaos, our longing for a savior that will come and save us. So if you feel angry or uncomfortable or even fascinated by either Trump or Musk, get really curious. What are they activating in you? What quality in either Trump or Musk irritates me, or where do I carry the same energy inside? It's a really, really interesting point. Number 5, that these sort of events that play out in the public forum are always, always mirrors. That's what they are. We love to point fingers at public figures, but often the judgment is just projection. And what you can't stand in others is often what you've disowned in yourself. So Trump's arrogance might mirror your fear of being seen as too much, your fear of actually saying what you really think, your fear of actually telling other people what you would only tell your partner. And Musk's chaos might reflect a part of you that wants freedom to not give a stuff about what anybody thinks. You'll just tell anything to anyone, like even tweet about the president of the United States when that impacts billions of your bottom line. So it might affect the part of you that doesn't know how to claim the truth of who you really are. And then this is the other part which I found fascinating with the two of them when they both softened up. Because when softness breaks through, that's where the transformation begins. When someone backs down a bit, when someone just drops the ego a bit. The fact that Musk apologized and he said he went too far with his tweet, and then Trump softened, shows that even the biggest egos can shift. So if their egos can receive such a public battering and still soften, yours can too. Ours can as well. So we need to pause, breathe, choose, because every reaction that we have is a chance to respond from our highest self so that we can forgive. Number 7, discernment is the lesson. Like, there were a lot of rumors that spread really fast about this situation, like that Trump's account was suspended on the platform X. This was not true. But when we see these kind of lies, it actually helps us to be more discerning about everything we read, because this world is full of headlines, but we need to question absolutely everything and get really good at that, questioning everything. Number 8, we're addicted to sides and labels. We want to take sides. You know, I have a sister who said to me recently, "That's why I don't like telling you anything, because you never take sides." That's right, I never take sides. Even in my family situation, I never take sides. I hear what everyone has to say, but I see the middle point. So consciousness asks us to rise above the black and white thinking of he is right, he is right, she is wrong, she is wrong. So can you see the lesson in what's going on around us without needing to pick a side? Because that's a really powerful position to be in. Number 9, always remembering that the world outside reflects the world inside. What's happening in the world mirrors what's happening in us. Division out there reveals division in us, between our mind, our soul, our fear, our truth. So if you are triggered by chaos, ask yourself, where am I avoiding the stillness or the truth within me? Number 10, this is a collective classroom. This moment, this feud between Trump and Elon isn't meaningless. It's a spiritual invitation, a lesson, a mirror. It's one that is asking all of us, are you awake? Are you grounded? Are you free? Are you performing? Are you prepared to forgive? Or is your ego running the show? So this isn't just about Trump or Musk. This is about what they reflect back to us, our fears, our projections, our potential. So next time you see a headline that triggers you, pause, breathe, ask yourself, what am I here to learn? What is this here to show me? And I truly, truly, truly believe that this is here to show us aspects about ourselves that we believe to be true. When we feel the energy of emotion rising up within us, or anxiety or concern, where do we need to remember the truth and go back to our center? Because the messiest moments are the greatest moments in our personal life and collectively. If this video resonated with you, I'd love to hear your comments, what you think about this playing out in the public arena, specifically if you're in the spiritual community. I'm interested in how this resonates with you and whether you are taking sides or whether you're staying neutral. And if there were any aha moments for you in this video, I would really, really appreciate it. Sending you so much love.